In a developing story following our report of SLED closing the case involving recent horse attacks in the Upstate, tonight we're looking into their findings. They blame wild boars on the attacks where horses were sliced open. While agents and DNR say they have the evidence to prove it, many are still struggling to wrap their head around the fact a boar is to blame. Tonight we're hearing from a wildlife expert who admits this type of attack is rare but possible. Before we bring in Fox Carolina's Matt Koufax, I do want to warn you some of the pictures are graphic. Matt's been following this story from the beginning and continues our live coverage tonight. Matt?
Yeah, Cody, good evening. Hopefully we can clear up some of the confusion and some of the speculation surrounding this tonight. Researchers I spoke with say they have only seen a case like this where a wild boar is attacking full-grown adult horses once before, but there is some precedent for wild boar rampages that terrorize entire equine communities. Meanwhile, we're also getting new details from SLED tonight with regard to the investigation that they did in conjunction with local law enforcement that shows evidence for what they believe caused wild boars to be behind all of these attacks. In light of the news that wild boars are responsible for attacks on upstate horses, DNR biologist Charles Ruth says this could be a first.
It is extraordinarily uncommon. There are more horses injured and killed in South Carolina by lightning strikes by tenfold.
While it's rare, he says it's also possible.
Competitive feeding in somewhat of a close quarter situation, whether it be a paddock, a barn, or a small pasture.
It's not clear what caused wild boars to attack horses in the upstate, but DNR has speculated hogs searching for food in horse pastures could be a factor. Then there's this, a large boar shot dead not far from one of the Spartanburg attacks.
We had a similar incident that happened back in October of 1981 in Martinez, Georgia.
Enter Aiken hog researcher Jack Mayer, credited with writing the first published book on wild boars in North America.
Two of the horses, one thoroughbred and one pony, were so severely injured they had to be euthanized.
He's talking about a boar rampage that killed 7 horses and a mule in Georgia, a story that garnered national attention and terrorized a community.
What we think might have happened was the boar was going into the stalls and paddocks of these horses and one mule and was bedding down there, was eating their feed.
In other words, a competitive eating situation.
Adult boars are about the right height that if they strike out laterally with their tusks, they're going to hit a horse's belly.
Those injuries, severe punctures and lacerations, not unlike what we've seen here. So obviously some very similar parallels, but again, we don't know for sure what caused wild boars to attack these horses in the upstate. But both men do say now that law enforcement seems to have a handle, they know what happened, they're trying to clean up all of this. They say there shouldn't be too much to worry about from an owner perspective. But, tell that to some of the owners around here, you might get a very different response. And as far as keeping your horses safe, both men add that a reinforced horse wire fencing is probably the best way to go. I'm sure many of you out there have that already, but they say it's best because hogs aren't very big jumpers. They're also not going anywhere anytime soon. In Greenville tonight, Matt Koufax, Fox Carolina News Tonight.